Hi, welcome back to Big C's Reviews. Today I'm going to be talking about the Spurs and Miami Heat preseason game. As expected, there were some rusty, the players hadn't played in a long time. They're still learning how to play with each other. They were led by Rudy Gay's 13 points. Um, Derek White showed some flashes from his summer league play. He showed some really good ability scoring. Of course, it was a very high turnover game, especially for summer league. Especially the guys hadn't played with each other in a while, so that's expected. You weren't expecting them to play a perfect game because it's not expected in summer league. I mean, not summer league, preseason. So, DeMar DeRozan played decently. He struggled with his shot, which is expected. It's his first game as a Spur. He's still trying to adjust in the team offense and learning the plays and everything. So it's going to take some time for DeMar to get back into where he was in Toronto. So, but I saw some good flashes from Poto, from Jacoby Poto. He played really well, decent game in the post, along with, as always, LaMarcus Aldridge had a decent game. He showed his flashes of playing at the post, playing tough. He's his outside shot, so I really saw some good things out of him too. Also, Powell showed some defensive game. He had a couple blocks. The fourth quarter was pretty fun because all the young guys were out there. I saw some nice flashes from Blossom game and from Metu. Got a couple blocks. And Ebanks got in there a little bit too. I don't think he scored, but he got a couple rebounds. And, he reminds me a lot of a young Frank Brakowski type player. So he'd be a good bench guy. Poindexter, I didn't see much out of him. I do like what's his name? Cunningham was, he went out there. He's always aggressive, so that's always fun to watch him be really aggressive as always. I think he only had 2 points but he's always out there. He's a banger. He goes out there and he plays hard. So that's always expected from him. Marco played pretty well. He hit some shots and running the ball. Of course, there was a lot of turnovers, so both teams are going back and forth. The only guy that didn't play was Lonnie Walker. I believe Pop sat him out believe he twisted an ankle or pulled a groin muscle during camp. So Pop's just being cautious with him and didn't want to send him out there and have him re-injure himself or even get worse. So that was a smart thing by Pop. It's typical Spurs thing. We're going to sit out our guys if they're hurt or not. If they got hurt during camp, we don't want to take a chance of them missing more games. So I think that was smart by Pop and the organization to be cautious with him. And the guys played their fair minutes. The starters were out there, and our other guys that were trying to make the team are out there playing hard. And of course, a lot of turnovers. Like I said, White played really well. So did Rudy Gay. I expected that from Rudy. Rudy is a really good ball player, and I respect him. I think he's a good basketball player, and it's nice that we brought him back. And everybody else played pretty well. They played as expected. They hadn't played in a while, so they're of course not going to be playing the perfect game every game. They're going to struggle, and as the time goes by, and also Bertans played really well. You could see flashes of his 3-point shots from the outside, and the way he's always played as a big stretch four. So I really liked the way they played today. They did struggle, of course. It's their first game back to get ready to play with each other, and it's going to take some time for them to get to know. Now, leadership of the team is taking, there's still a couple guys. I know that DeJounte Murray played really well too, and he struggled a little bit, but he's trying to take more of a leadership role, and so is Patty, and so is LaMarcus this year. So, and I'm hoping also DeMar will, as time goes by, he will insert himself as a leader on this team. If not vocally, but leading by example of his play on the court. So I'm really excited about this team. I really expect them. I was watching NBA TV today, and they think they're winning 44 games, but I think they're winning 50 this year and making the playoffs. And this is that type of a team. People always underestimate the Spurs. They always say, "Oh, they're not going to make the playoffs. Their team, they have a whole bunch of new guys and this and that." But don't underestimate Coach Pop and his team of coaches, his assistants. They always make it work. So they will make the playoffs and hopefully win 50 games this year. I'm saying 50 and 32. That's 82 games right there. I think that would be a fair, if the things go well this year, that could be the possible record. I'm just guessing. It's not I don't know for sure, but that's what I feel, seeing our young talent out there. We have a lot of young players, a lot of very gifted athletes, and I see them playing well this year. As the season goes on, the guys are going to get used to playing with each other. I see Podol playing a lot better, and he may even end up getting into the starting rotation above Pau Gasol. And I really think Pau, because I know I've heard Pau say that he wouldn't have mind coming off the bench if that's what Pop wants. So there's a lot of different combinations the Spurs could use out there for their season. So overall, they won this game 104-100. There was probably more than 20 turnovers. It was just a high turnover game, but it's expected in Summer League, and there's a lot of new rules going. So it's preseason for also the referees, so they're still learning a lot of new rules. Like the new shot clock rule, it goes to 14 instead of 24. So a lot of these new rules, the refs are still in preseason, so they're still learning their craft and learning the new things that are part of the NBA rules now. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a great year. So 2018-2019 Spurs, I think they're going to have a great season. Their guys are going to start, looking good. I think also, guys like, DeMar and Podol and, of course, Murray and LaMarcus, they're going to come into their own. And I really think that those guys are going to help the team out a lot, along with some of the bench guys like White and, and I think guys like Cunningham's going to be a big plus off the bench. I really see him as a tough, hard-nosed defender. Go out there, bang with everybody, and I see like Ebanks is probably going to get some time too as a big. So I really think that a lot of these guys have a lot of potential, and they're still looking for another two-way player. So one of these guys in camp may get the contract for the two-way player. I also saw Johnson. He's the nephew of Dennis Johnson, who used to be the coach of the Austin Toros, now the Austin Spurs, and also was an All-Star Hall of Fame point guard from the Boston Celtics back in the day. He's his nephew, so it's really neat to see him out there. And I know he was the MVP of the finals in the G League. So there's a couple guys on that roster that have maybe some will be in the G League, and some may actually make the two-way and may actually make the roster. So I will talk to y'all soon. Thanks, Big C Nation, for sticking with me. I know I don't put out a lot of videos, but love you guys. Thank you. Your family. Thanks a lot. I appreciate y'all watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, share. I'll talk to y'all soon and see y'all in the next one.